Hey, what is up heroes and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Unboxing. Today we have a first early look at the brand new Burst Protocol. Massive shout out to Konami for allowing me to open this and reveal it to you guys early. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so we have first Penguin, Dark Lord Golgullet, Whirlwind for Hire, Keel Shipwright for Hire. Oh, straight into a secret rare. Spenta, the Magistus the Sealer. Looks so nice. We have the Techniques for Hire for all your ultimate moves. Archfiend's Fervor, Flux Senfeld, Elf Notes, Aristia of Trust is the last card. Alright, next up we have Etherealized Liberation, Shipwright for Hire, Double Interlock, Fist Armed Dragon, Super Rare Elf Notes Welcome Home, Archfiend's Fervor, GMX Chairman Kimmeridge, Arsenal Audit, and Shipping Archfiend. Alright, next up we have Magnet Bondin, Double Interlock, Fist Armed Dragon, Dual Evolution Assault Zone, got Ultra Rare Draco Tail Charlus, nice, Boss on Parade, Stormbane Dragon Deathstorm Bim, and Riot's Reason, and Mischief of the Wolves. Alright, next up we have Fandora the Flying Fighting Fortress, the alliteration there, Throne of the Archfiends, Dark Lord Golgullet, Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus, we have a super rare Borreload Fatal Flare Dragon, great name, Archfiend's Playtime, Vodnika the Fountain Spirit, Shichi Gosan, and Mischief of the Wolves. Alright, next up we have Dirk Longing for the Blue Skies, Wake Cup Earl, Dark Lord Golgullet, Throne of the Archfiends. Our super rare is Junk Warrior Assault Mode, nice. I've always liked the Assault modes and love Junk Warrior, so that's pretty cool for me. GMX Chairman Kimmeridge, Archfiend's Fervor, and Shichi Gosan, and the last one is Boss on Parade. Right, next up we have Elf Notes, A Plea for Help, Vic Viper Type L, Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus, Wake Cup Earl, then Telusion the Magnet Warrior, loving all these like Magnet Warrior stuff, Elf Notes Rhapsodia of Madness, Archfiend Playtime, Assist Yummy, and Elf Notes Aristia of Trust. Next up we have Doom's Change, Wake Cup Earl, Rocket Detonator, Assault Lich. Our super rare is Junora, the Power Patron of Tuning. That art looks nice. It's our super rare. Then we have the Titan of Trebadorus, GMX Alos, and GMX Associate Noma. And the last one is Mechanical Mechanic. And next up we have Liberation, Whirlwind for Hire, Magnet Bondin, Archfiend Strategy, ultra rare Rocket Loader, nice, Flux Senfeld, Archfiend Playtime, Radiant Typhoon Ascendance, and Elf Notes Aristia of Trust. Right, next pack we have Whirlwind for Hire, Wake Cup Earl, Dual Evolution, Assault Zone, Etherealized Liberation. Our super rare is Highness Archfiend. We have Stormbane Dragon. We have the for all your ultimate moves, Elf Notes Rhapsodia of Madness, and Assist Yummy. Next pack we have Duke Archfiend, Doomsday Change, Shipwright for Hire, Assault Lich. We have a super rare Dark Lord Duty, Boss on Parade, Rain of Frogs, and Shipping Archfiend, and the last one is the GMX Alos. Next up we have Hollow Rocket Dragon, Throne of the Archfiends. We have Archfiend Strategy, DDD Alfred the Divine Sage King, super rare is Trisboral Dragon, Riot's Reason, Shipping Archfiend, Mechanical Mechanic, and the last one is Tip of the Tinying Tongue. Alright, next up we have the Flying Fighting Fortress, Throne of the Archfiends, Fist Armed Dragon, First Penguin, Nightwing Cleric for our super rare. The Titan of Trabaldus, Radiant Typhoon Ascendance, Dark Lord Dance, and the Flux Orchenfeld. Next up, Archfiend Strategy, Elf Notes A Plea for Help, Rocket Detonator, Duke Archfiend. Our super rare is Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum. Man, these like Magnet Warrior stuff, I've got to look into these. These look sick. But Tip of the Tinying Tongue, Archfiend Playtime, GMX Alos, and Shipping Archfiend. Right, next up, Magnet Bondin, Fist Arm Dragon, Hollow Rocket Dragon, DD Alfred the Divine Sage King. Oh, we got Ultra Rare Mercurium the Living Quicksilver. 2 level 10 monsters, that looks sick. Got Chairman Kimmeridge, Mischief of the Wolves, Shichi Gosan, Vodnika the Fountain Spirit is the last one. Alright, next up, Magna Warrior Sigma Minus, Duke Archfiend, Gung Ho, Springens, Magnet Bondin, got Super Rare Jade Dragon Mech, Chairman Kimmeridge, Elf Notes Rhapsodia of Madness, GMX Alos, Rights Reasoning is the last one. Alright, next up, Assault Lich, Double Interlock, Hollow Rocket Dragon, First Penguin, Junora the Power Patron of Tuning is our super rare, Dark Lord Dance, for all your ultimate moves, Stormbane Dragon, and Rain of Frogs. Alright, next up, Gung Ho, Vic Viper Type L, Duke Archfiend, we have Whirlwind for Hire, another Junk Warrior Assault Mode, nice, Dark Lord Dance, Elf Notes Rhapsodia of Madness, Forbidden Ritual Art, and the Titan of Trabaldus. Alright, next up, Assault Lich, DDD Alfred of the Divine Sage King, Shipwright for Hire, Elf Notes A Plea for Help. We have Super Rare GMX Applied Experiment number 55, Archfiend's Fervor, Mechanical Mechanic, and for all your ultimate moves, and the last one is Assist Yummy. Alright, next up, Vic Viper Type L, Elf Notes A Plea for Help, Fist Arm Dragon, First Penguin, we have the Power Patron of Tuning, got to place out of that now, Arsenal Audit, Archfiend's Fervor, GMX Alos, and the last one is Radiant Typhoon Ascendance. Next up, Shipwright for Hire, Fandora the Flying Fortress, Hollow Rocket Dragon, Magnet Bondin, Elf Notes Welcome Home for the super rare, Boss on Parade, Flux Orchenfeld, Mechanical Mechanic, and Mischief of Wolves. Right, next up we have Doom's Change, Dirk Longing for the Blue Skies, Rocket Detonator, Archfiend Strategy. We have Super BES Metal Slave, that looks sick for the super rare. GMX Associate Noma, Rain of Frogs, Arsenal Audit, and the last one is Forbidden Ritual Art. Alright, next up we have Gung Ho, Fandora the Flying Fighting Fortress, Throne of the Archfiends, Dirk Longing for the Blue Skies, and oh nice! Got Archmage Non-Finito, build an Archmage deck, so that is awesome for me. Oh dude, that looks so sweet. Nice. So Elf Notes, we have Forbidden Ritual Art, Assist Yummy, and the last one is the Titan. Alright, second to last pack, we have a Double Interlock, Duke Archfiend, Furialized Liberation, Doomsy Change. Oh, nice! We have Dark Lord Evening Star. Ooh, the artwork that looks sweet. Nice. I got Rain of Frogs, Vodnika the Fountain Spirit, Associate Noma, and Radiant Typhoon Ascendance. Alright, last pack of the first box, we have a Assault Lich, Magnet Warrior Sigma Minus, the Flying Fortress, Dark Lord Golgalet. We have Nightmare Hands for the super rare, Shipping Archfiend, Chairman Kimmeridge, Shichi Gosan, Stormbane Dragon is the last one. Alright, first pack of the second box. We have Magnet Warrior Sigma Minus, Shipwright for Hire, Dark Lord Golgalet, Vic Viper Type L. We have Conduction Warrior Linear Magnum Plus Minus. What a name. Looks sweet for our super rare, Mischief of the Wolves, Chairman Kimmeridge, the Orsenfeld, Stormbane Dragon is the last one. Alright, next up we have Magnet Warrior Sigma Minus, Archfiend Strategy, Gung Ho. We have Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus. And we oh! Got Ecclesia the Dark Dragon. Nice! Oh, sick! Oh, that looks so cool. Oh man, I love that. Nice. So we got Chairman Kimridge, Shipping Archfiend, GMX Alos, and the tip of the Tinying Tongue. Alright, next up we have Salt Lich, Dual Evolution Assault Zone, Hollow Rocket Dragon, Longing for the Blue Skies, Ultra Rare Exorcista Carmea, looks sweet, Dark Lord Dance, Shichi Gosan, Stormbane Dragon, and Forbidden Ritual Art. Alright, next up we have Wake Capel, Rocket Detonator, DDD Alfred the Divine Sage King, Fist Arm Dragon, Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum, the super rare, Assist Yummy, Vodnika the Fountain Spirit, Riot's Reason, and Dark Lord Dance. Alright, next up we have Double Interlock, Doomsday Change, Whirlwind for Hire, Ferialized Liberation, Ultra Rare Archfiend Emperor Ritual Pendulum Monster. Sweet. We have the for all your ultimate moves, Rhapsody of Madness, Arsenal Audit, and the last one is the Titan. Alright, next up we have Archfiend Strategy, Alpha Note to Plea for Help, Gung Ho, Duke Archfiend. We have the Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum, Tips for the Tinying Tongue, Mechanical Mechanic, GMX Alos, and Arena Frogs. Next up we have Dual Evolution Assault Zone, Doomsday Change, Double Interlock, Archfiend Strategy, Dark Lord Judy for the super rare, Elf Notes Asteria of Trust, Archfiend Playtime, Associate Noma, and Shipping Archfiend. Alright, next pack we have Magnet Bonding, Throne of the Archfiends, Hollow Rocket Dragon, DDD Alfred the Divine Sage. Oh, GMX Researcher Solana, that's our first one of those in super rare. GMX Chairman Kimridge, Radiant Typhoon Ascendance, Shichi Gosan, and Assist Yummy. Alright, next up, Whirlwind for Hire, Fandora the Flying Fortress, Dual Evolution Assault Zone, Vic Viper Type L, got Exorcista Betrayal, first one of those in super rare, Stormbane Dragon, Mischief of Wolves, Elf Notes Rhapsody of Madness, and Vodnika the Fountain Spirit. Alright, next up, Vic Viper Type L, Longing for the Blue Skies, Rocket Detonator, Fist Arm Dragon, Elf Note Fortuna, getting a load of new super rares now, Associate Noma, Archfiend's Fervor, Arsenal Audit, and Boss on Parade. Alright, next up, Hollow Rocket Dragon, Throne of the Archfiends, Assault Lich, Alfred the Divine Sage King, GMX Velox, another new super rare, sweet, Riot's Reason, Reign of the Frogs, Mechanical Mechanic, and Forbidden Ritual Art. Alright, next up we have Gung Ho, Hollow Rocket Dragon, Duke Archfiend, Whirlwind for Hire. Oh, secret rare, we have the Twin Tempests of Celestial Thunder. Ah, looks sick. Dark Lord Dance, Mechanical Mechanic, Forbidden Ritual Art, Tip of the Tinying Tongue. Alright, next up, Assault Lich, Magnet Warrior Sigma Minus, Shipwright for Hire, Dark Lord Golgalet, Zaylan the Shackled Dragon, another new super rare. Sweet. Shipping Archfiend, Mischief of the Wolves, Shicho Gosan, Archfiend Playtime. Alright, next up we have Ferialized Liberation, Alfred the Divine Sage King, First Penguin, Elf Note to Plea for Help. We have the Mercurium the Living Quicksilver, an ultra rare again, Archfiend's Fervor, Orsenfeld, for all your ultimate moves, and Assist Yummy. Alright, next up we have Vic Viper Type L, Duke Archfiend, Rocket Detonator, Doomsday Change, Elf Notes Welcome Home for the super rare, Stormbane Dragon, Vodnika the Fountain Spirit, and Associate Noma and Mischief of the Wolves. Alright, next up, Archfiend Strategy, Fandora the Flying Fortress, Dark Lord Golgalet, Longing for Blue Skies. Our super rare is Super BES Metal Slave, Elf Notes Asteria of Trust, Forbidden Ritual Art, Archfiend's Fervor, and the Titan for the last card. Next up, Shipwright for Hire, A Plea for Help, Double Interlock, First Penguin, GMX Researcher Solande, Arsenal Audit, Boss on Parade, GMX Alos, and the last one's Radiant Typhoon Ascendance. Our next pack, Dual Evolution Assault Zone, Fandora the Flying Fortress, Wake Cup, Magnet Bonding. Our super rare is GMX Velox, Archfiend Playtime, Flux Orstenfeld, Mechanical Mechanic, and Elf Notes Asteria of Trust. Alright, next pack we have Throne of the Archfiends, Alfred the Divine Sage King, Vic Viper Type L, Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus, Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum for the super rare, got the Titan, Tip of the Tinying Tongue, Chairman Kimmeridge, Rain of Frogs. Down to the final 5 packs. So we have Wake Up Earl, Ferialize Liberation, Dual Evolution Assault Zone, Shipwright for Hire. Oh, we have Royal Archfiend, ultra rare. Do look cool, man. Got Associate Noma, Ship and Archfiend, Stormbane Dragon, and Rhapsodia of Madness. Alright, next pack we have Double Interlock, Gung Ho, Fist Arm Dragon, Fandora, Trisporal Dragon for the super rare, Vonika the Fountain Spirit, for all your ultimate moves, Archfiend's Fervor, and Mischief of Wolves. Alright, next up we have First Penguin, Throne of the Archfiends, Dark Lord Golgalette, Whirlwind for Hire, Tellusion the Magna Warrior, Aristia of Trust, Boss on Parade, GMX Alos, and Riot's Reason. Alright, next up Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus, Doomsday Change, Magnet Bonding, Wake Up Earl, Super BES Metal Slave for the super rare, Mechanical Mechanic, GMX Chairman Kimmeridge, Archfiend Playtime, Shichi Go-san is the last one. Now onto the final pack. Alright, last pack, what do we got? So we have Rocket Detonator, Fist Arm Dragon, Assault Lich, we have Ferialize Liberation, they have a Crimson Blader Assault Mode. Ooh, that's our first one of those. Used to love Crimson Blader. Aristia of Trust, Rhapsodia of Madness, Rain of Frogs, and Assist Yummy. Overall, not a bad box, man. I really like this set. Archmage support, Ecclesia, the Magna Warrior stuff looks really sick. Like, a lot of stuff in here that I really want to try out, like Junk Warrior Assault Mode. That's going to be pretty fun. Really happy with the more Archmage stuff, because love an Archmage at the moment. And, yeah, Ecclesia looks so sick. Looks so cool, man. But overall, great set. Let me know if you guys are going to pick this up. Again, thank you for Konami for allowing me to open this and reveal it to everyone early. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace.